Are your students struggling with two-digit addition? Maybe you've given them different strategies like base 10 blocks or break apart and they still aren't getting it. I'm here to show you another strategy today that you can try with your students to see if that helps. Hi, I'm Cheryl and I help primary math teachers keep their students on task and learning. The next strategy I like to teach my students is the open number line. You would start with a number line, and then I'm going to show you later how to add 34 plus 22 using jumps of tens and ones. It helps students deeper their understanding with place value and seeing it a little bit differently than break apart or with base 10 blocks. When I'm looking at 34 plus 22, I like to start with the bigger number, which in this case is 34. I would put 34 on the left-hand side of my open number line. Then I'm going to look at 22 because that's the number that I'm adding to 34, and I'm going to make jumps of 22. But I'm not going to make 22 jumps of 1. That would take me a really long time. Instead, I can break apart 22 into 20 and 2, and then make jumps using the place value. From 34, I can make a jump of 10. 34 plus 10 equals 44. But I've only added 10. I need to add 20. So I make another jump of 10. So 44 plus 10 is 54. I'm done my 20, but I still have to make 2 more jumps. Now I'm going to make jumps of ones. I like to use triangles when I'm jumping ones just to show the students different between the tens and the ones. I'm adding 1, 54 plus 1 is 55. And then I need one more jump, plus 1. So 55 plus 1 is 56. The answer for my problem, 34 plus 22, is 56. One thing that I really like about the number line strategy is that it lends itself to differentiation. So let's say you have some advanced students solving the same problem. They would start with 34, just like we did up here, but instead of jumping 2 groups of 10, they might jump a group of 20. 34 plus 20 is 54. And then instead of jumping the groups of ones, they would jump plus 2. 54 plus 2 is 56. Some of your students are ready for this way or this way. Some of them do a combination of it. That's what I really like about this strategy, is that it helps them pick what works best for them and it shows their understanding of place value. One tip I have for you in teaching the number line strategy is to really make sure that your students are writing where they end up before they move on to their next jump. So I teach them to think like an airplane. So an airplane takes off from 34 and it has to land and know where it lands before it's ready to go on to its next destination. Keep that in mind and teach your students that they have to write the number where it lands before they move on, because your students will want to write all of their jumps. And then sometimes this messes them up because they do too many or too little. And it's really important that they keep track and stay nice and neat and organized. Now that you have modeled how to use this strategy and your students have time practicing with you, do you want to give them some independent work? I have this worksheet that I've made that reminds the students the strategy right here, the same example I showed you, so they can always refer back to it. And then it gives them their own practice problem. If you are ready to grab this, it is in my TPT store. The link will be in the description below for you. Thanks for watching today. I've taught you how to use the number line strategy, a couple different ways to differentiate for your students. I showed you a resource that you can grab in my TPT store. Make sure you like and subscribe so you can be notified when the next video with a new strategy drops. Bye!